I've had people ask me, Eli, do you watch other toy collecting YouTube channels? I sure do. Let's take a look at and review some of the YouTube toy collecting channels that I frequent, and yes, that's Stan Lee with a baseball bat. Greetings, toy heads, and welcome to another episode of Go Figure with me, your host, Eli Williams, here on the digitally rebastard network, the action figure show about news, reviews, collecting tips, customizations, kit bashing, everything that goes into this fun, nerdy hobby that you and I both love. And in this week's episode, going to be taking a look at some of the YouTube toy collecting action figure channels that I watch, some frequently, some not as frequently, some I don't watch as much as I used to, some I watch even more than I used to, but I thought I would take you through a journey of some of the channels that I watch and do a little review on them. So let's start out with my number one favorite, the Fwoosh. The Fwoosh is a channel that I watch daily, definitely weekly. It is run by a man, I don't know his real name, he goes by Robo. Really fun guy, really fun channel. Does up-to-date reviews, has a every Saturday he has a Fwoosh Weekly, where he covers action figure news and, you know, releases that are yet to come out. Does like I said, does reviews. He's got several reviews, and he also does these little things called play days, which are really fun and cool. He goes through and I've taken a few pages from this guy's book, I'm not gonna lie, especially with my soft intros and customizations. I've learned a lot from this man and his channel. And I've bought a couple of their exclusive items, one being that Fwoosh Ninja that I did a review of not that long ago, and then the other is the Fwoosh Skeleton, which is due to come out here within the next month or so, which I will be doing a review of that as well. He primarily has three types of shows, one being the review, either a single review or a wave review of figures, and then he has the he releases like here's these two videos right here I have not watched yet. The other show that he does is a show about upcoming, like this one right here from the MCM London. He talks about the Hasbro pipeline releases and things that are coming out. And then the other is the Fwoosh Weekly, which I've mentioned before, which he covers throughout the week. And he, like myself, is a 1/12 scale, 6-inch, primarily 6-inch collector. He talks about all the releases for 1/12 scale figures. So he covers Hasbro, Mattel. He does cover Todd McFarlane as far as releases, but like me, he doesn't really get that many. He's probably, I think he actually has more than I do. I've only had the two. But he does talk about them, but very frequently, or very seldomly, I mean, gets them. And the other show that he does, I guess, I'm sorry, he's got 4 shows. The other one that he does is the Play Days, which he reviews items that are sent to him, and I am going to eventually make a custom to send to him, so he can do a review of it. But he just custom things that are sent to him, just random things that he's picked up in the stores, things that he's made himself. Just go through just a random hodgepodge of different figures and talks about them and shows them, and some people do incredible work, far better than what I do. Even he does far better work than I do. He's a much better painter than I am. But yeah, the Fwoosh, if you've never checked out the Fwoosh, you should go check him out. Great channel, my number one favorite. If you want to learn about collecting and what's coming out, and just see really good reviews on stuff, this is the guy to come to, the Fwoosh. Next on my list is formerly Toy Galaxy, now Secret Galaxy. Recently changed his name, the name of his channel here to Secret Galaxy. Was called Toy Galaxy, but he has kind of branched off into doing reviews of nostalgic TV shows and movies and such things like that. Usually centered around the toys, the merchandising from them. But if you go to his videos, he has done some great stuff. If you roll back through here, we've got and he's so funny. He does a really good job of putting little jokes in throughout his videos. I really enjoy his top 10 videos, top 10 action figures of between this year and that year, or from a certain year. Top 10, he's done like top 10 Batman figures, top 10 Superman figures. And he's also a very avid collector of Boba Fett. He has, I don't even know how many Boba Fetts he has, but he has probably the largest collection of the original vintage Boba Fett. I know he's got at least 1,000 of just that one. He has an entire display of, he's got a video in here somewhere of the Boba Fett collection that he has. But I'm talking about the original vintage Kenner Star Wars Boba Fett. He has multiples of that figure in a collection. He's covered just about everything you can think of. And he's done some reviews, but most of the stuff that he does is just witty little commentaries on certain things. Certain types of figures, but he's a really enjoyable guy to watch, and very talented and very knowledgeable. So if you want a good time, come stop by Secret Galaxy, aka Toy Galaxy, and see Dan Larson, and you'll have a good time. And next on my list is RetroBlasting. RetroBlasting was probably the first channel that I came to look at toy reviews and whatnot. I used to watch it more than I do now. They just hit 100,000 subscribers a couple of weeks ago, so good on you on that. How do I put this delicately? I don't want to come across as a negative blowhard here, but over the past few years, this channel has become more visceral and negative when it comes to certain things. He's done a lot of good stuff, like his new video I just watched, the G.I. Joe Original 14, talking about the re-releases of the 25th anniversary re-releases of the original lineup, which there was 13. Original, there was supposed to be 14. There was one called Shooter that never really made the cut in the originals. But and that's a pretty good video. The Lego video that he did recently that really put him over the top was a very decent video covering a lot of the Lego sets and stuff, the old Lego sets from the late 70s, early 80s. But if you really want to get into the good stuff, you gotta go back into like the Star Wars Follies. You really got to dig back about 2.5, 3 years, maybe 4 years, into some of this older stuff. I would, watch what you want. The newer stuff is, there's the Unplugged's kind of come across very negative and cringy. He does not like Hasbro. He is although he has a lot of Hasbro product when he does these things sitting next to him on the table, which I can't figure out, but there you go. But he does make a lot of good points. He is a big advocate for independent reproduction companies that make reproduce especially with the vintage collection Star Wars stuff, make figures that were never made, and in the style of the old school Kenner from the 80s, 70s, and 80s. So, and those are pretty cool. Yeah, like right here, you got the Stan Solo Force Ghost, trio, because they never made Obi-Wan or Yoda, but they did make Anakin, which wasn't really a Force Ghost, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, if you come to this channel, I would scroll down back through the years and get into the good stuff. And he has started doing like a lot of videos, collaborating with the next channel we're going to talk about, Analog Toys. He's doing like old movie reviews. I guess, he started out pretty much primarily as a toy channel, but I guess it is RetroBlasting, so he covers retro stuff. Doesn't really have a whole lot of love for new things. Is primarily, if you want to find out about old retro stuff, this would be a channel to check out. But I would come back down here, like 2-3 years ago. But at any rate, you should check him out. RetroBlasting used to be a lot more fun than it is now. Next on my list, another vintage channel that covers more things and is a friend to the RetroBlasting channel, and that is Analog Toys, a vintage obsession. They, if a best way to describe them is they would be like the Bud Light of RetroBlasting. Good channel, good commentary from the proprietor there. He covers a lot more of the larger scale figures like Mego GI, the original GI Joe, and like here we got $6 Million Man. Really good, really personable guy from Australia. He's a big fan of Indiana Jones. He served in the armed forces. He actually has an Action Force figure. He's a big advocate for the Valaverse Action Force, and one of them, Desert Rat, is fashioned after him. This is where I first found out about Valaverse Action Force. I combined them there, and he covers a little bit about retro or repro stuff, reproduction, but does a lot of unboxings, like unboxings of vintage stuff. If you ever want to see somebody do unboxings of vintage stuff, this would be the guy to come to, because he does do that. Not a big fan of Hasbro, but not as much as a hater of Hasbro as RetroBlasting. But still a great channel to check out if you really want to dig in and see some stuff about some old toys that you might not see somewhere else. This is the guy to come to. Analog Toys. Check him out. Next on my list is that Junkman, and I know what you're going to say. Oh, Eli, how could you like this guy? I like this guy because, to me, this guy's likable. He's down to earth. He's he has a lot of information about, like, you're going to see stuff on his channel that you will not see anywhere else. And that is primarily why I like this channel. I know that there's been controversy and stuff like that, and we've all done things that we've regretted. And it's best to look to the future and not dwell on the past. But that being said, I'm not going to get into that because that's not what this is about, and I do not care. But he's funny. He puts little jokes in. He likes to rib people now and then. Hopefully someday he'll roast me and my show on the Digitally Rebastard Network. I would absolutely just love that if he were to do that. But like I said, you're going to find stuff like this guy talks about things that you may have forgotten. Like right here, here's a video that he did 3 days ago, and this guy is a content creature. He pumps stuff out like sometimes 3-4 times a day. But like here's 80s Halloween costumes. Talks about the fall of Kenner toys. Different things like stuff you used to see at like real discounted generic knockoff stuff from like Woolworth and Woolco and Zayres. This guy and I are literally months apart at the same age. I turned 50 before he did, but we were both we're both like right in there, so we know and remember a lot of these things. And he even did a video here. Where is it at? This was amazing. This guy actually got a hold of, he calls him the Kenner Kid. I can't, let's see, where is it at? He's got so much content. Oh, that was 2 months ago. No, this was just a couple of weeks ago. He did a video where let's see, gone back too far. You know what? It's in here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where it is, but he actually got a hold of the kid that's on it was either the box for the original box for the vintage Death Star, or it was the box for the original Millennium Falcon. And he had a Zoom or a Skype call with this guy. He found the kid that's on the picture on the box. Like, that's amazing. That's just the kind of stuff you're going to find when you come over to that Junkman, but I can't seem to find that video. Oh, there it is right there. It was the kid, yeah. Star Wars Kenner Box kid speaks. The kid that's on the Death Star. He found that guy and did a conference call with him, and he talked about the time when he went in for the photo shoot for this back in the 70s. How screwed up is that? I mean, that's incredible. If you really want to see some unique things that you will not see anywhere else, come see that Junkman. Have a good laugh. You'll have a great time. Spector Creative. This is a very good channel, and I come to this channel for one reason and one reason alone. He does a great job at he doesn't really do reviews of stuff per se. He does a lot more videos involving the toy industry, because this guy, he either works for or worked for Mattel. I'm not sure if he still does or not. I think he still does. But this guy, he was single-handedly involved in the creation and the production of one of the biggest parts of my collection, the Mattel DC Universe Classics. He had a lot of input on design and stuff for those figures. And he has a very unique insight about the toy industry. And so if you're wanting to know about that side of the coin, about the particularly the action figure part of the toy industry, at least in regards to Mattel, this is the guy to come watch his stuff. He has a particularly interesting insight on everything ranging from production to design to distribution. Had a bit of a kerfuffle with Michael over at RetroBlasting over, some stuff, but I'm not going to get into that because that's just drama. But very, very interesting channel. If you ever really want to see the industry side of toys and toy collecting and what goes into, especially what goes into making them and producing them and distributing them and all of that monster behind, from conception to, leaving to go out to the shelf, this is the guy to come see. Next on my list is Brad, the DC Universe Geek. The best place single-handed to come and see about everything and anything DC related. Obviously, it's in his name. this is the guy I originally, when I started getting into, or before I started getting into collecting during my stint with COVID, when I decided, hey, I've cheated death, I'm going to get back into collecting. And DC Universe Classics was one of the franchises that I wanted to get, because in my opinion, for my dollar, right now they're the best DC figures that you can get your hands on, in the 1/12 scale, the true 1/12 scale. I know there's people that would argue against that McFarlane is, that's a matter of opinion. Maybe McFarlane is for 1/9 scale, or bigger, but for 1/12 scale, since 6-inch figures, Mattel DC Universe Classics. Especially if you're a nostalgic fan of the old Kenner Superpowers, they are the modernization of that line. I don't care what McFarlane's made. But this guy's really, really good. He's done several, and he's even into customization too. He's done a lot of cloth cape conversions, from changing the cape from rubber to cloth goods, like I have done. I've learned a lot from this guy, especially about the two-hole method on the up on the shoulder bone area to do a cape tuck. I learned from this guy. Really, really knowledgeable. Really, really good content. If you're into DC and you want to find out what's coming out, what's been out, especially if you're interested into collecting the Mattel DC Universe Classics, come on over and check out Brad, the DC Universe Geek. Usual Mike Television. This is the guy to come to when you want to find out about not just Fwoosh. Fwoosh is going to tell you too, but Fwoosh doesn't cover Star Wars The Vintage Collection. This guy does. If you want to find out what's coming out Star Wars from Hasbro, this is your guy. As a whole, he covers it all, and he's on it. Like, he has stuff out. Like, as soon as the news hits, bam! This guy's got a video out on it. Really, really cool guy. Another Aussie, another Australian guy. I love listening to their accent. It makes me want to go, and I don't want to do that. But this guy, he's a lot of fun. Is very, very enthusiastic about what he does and what he reviews, and it's absolute joy to watch. Not only because of his enthusiasm, but just because of his knowledge about what's coming out. His collection is crazy, like the Fwoosh, like Robo's collection on the Fwoosh. This guy's collection is crazy. Very, very knowledgeable. All things Star Wars. Come over and check out Usual Mike Television. You won't be disappointed. And last but not least, Laura Legends. This is such a fun channel. Made and produced by such a sweetheart. She really, really into Jurassic Park. Like, majorly into Jurassic Park. This is one of those gals that if you were to meet her on the street or in a Toys R Us and stuff, and see her buying it, like, oh, are you getting that for your kid? She's like, oh no, this is going on my shelf. You'd be like, what? Like, yeah. Absolutely loves what she does. Loves her cat, loves her dog. So she's, right in there in my book. Has done a lot of stuff. She does a lot of shops. So like the shop videos, going into the store, which I actually need to start doing. In fact, I think just like this morning, I went in every Thursday morning after work. I think I'm going to go hit the local Meijer and local Walmart and I'm gonna do a shop and film it, provided I don't get kicked out, because I know sometimes they look down on that. Yeah, she, like I said, really into Jurassic Park. If you go through here, you'll see a lot of Jurassic Park videos. And she gets stuff sent to her. Does unboxings of boxes that people have sent to her. She does reviews of very unique things you wouldn't normally see on other channels, but particularly dinosaurs, particularly Jurassic Park. Watch some of her videos where she looks at her collection, and check out her Jurassic Park collection. It's crazy good. Is this her doing a parody of John Hammond? That's really funny. So yeah, Laura Legend, absolute sweetheart, very cool collector. Was so glad to have her in the community. And big fan of dinosaurs. She even got a dinosaur on her logo, dinosaur unicorn thing there. So come check out Laura Legends and see what she's all about. Well, that will wrap it up for this episode. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that bell so you can get information on all the good things coming out of the Digitally Rebastard Network, as well as join us on Twitter, Discord, and my TikTok by clicking those links in the bottom right-hand corner of the banner on our channel page. Become part of the DRN family. We will welcome you with open arms. You've been watching Go Figure with me, your host, Eli Williams, here on the Digitally Rebastard Network. You guys all have a great week and a great day. I'll see you next time, and until then, don't forget to get your figure on. Take care.